a while ago, but I'm not. So welcome to VIP pre-market prep. All right, I think I'm live and I think it's showing. All right, just gotta pray, or I'll check that later. But in any case, here we go. It's Friday morning, Black Friday. We're entering a period of time I've been warning you about for a while that is very, very volatile. So just be aware of the possibility of crazy moves to the upside and the downside between now and the end of January. So if we look at SPY QQQ, still it's in between these two major moving averages. A little bit of indecision, but the consensus seems to be from most people that we're still heading for at least the 200 DMA on the SPY, which is just a little bit higher here, 405. But the QQQ, you can see, has a lot more room to the 200 DMA. But first, there's this resistance right over here at 294. So those are your upside targets. And of course, your downside possibilities are at those moving averages right below it, where you see there 390 and then over here 380. So just be prepared for a lot of volatility. Okay, however you want to prepare for that, whether it's more cash, whether it's being more careful with swing positions, however you want to do it, whether you want to hedge, just be careful about that. Bond market's closed today. TLT is not going to be a real sign for us at this point in time. We have the next major thing is going to be CPI the second week of December. So that's going to be a major market mover. But I do want to point out, I'm a little worried about Apple here. You can see Q's down 0.4%. That has a lot to do with Apple. There's been some bad news out of Apple. I saw lots of headlines and news stories. And if you go in here, you'll see the manufacturing plant, Zhengzhou, I don't know how you say that, but there's a lot of worker unrest, 20,000 workers, loses 20,000 workers, violent protests. There's like crazy stuff going on in China now, which is bad for Apple, which in turn can be bad for QQQ. So if the market is at some sort of indecision, could this be something that turns it over to the negative side? You got to watch that and be careful of that. Tesla, we're seeing a little bit of follow through. Man, did we ever nail that? Here's that 185 that we talked about, which was the next target. Now there's some people excited about this full driving release, full driving suite, the software, the automated driving is released. Now, this wasn't completely like a surprise. I'm a little bit surprised at how excited people are about this. In fact, Elon Musk said 6 days ago, that they're rolling it out, doing the full rollout. But I guess now it's official that it has been rolled out. I think this is really just a matter of sentiment being positive now because of what happened, because of what we covered on Wednesday morning with Citigroup and the other analysts upgrading. So when you get that positive sentiment, everything all of a sudden is seen in a positive light. We talked about that psychological dynamic. In fact, we predicted that dynamic would happen as a result of hitting that 200-week moving average, which is also a reflection of fundamentals, right? When you find support at technical levels, that's supposed to be also, because markets are efficient, it's supposed to be a reflection of a fundamental reality. So anyway, this 200-week moving average turning out to be a great spot, and that's worked really well. As far as today goes, you have this 20 DMA target, 192-ish. I don't know if that's, I guess it's in the cards, a possibility for today. But look, the market is very light volume today. We're in this period of indecision. I don't have a great read on Tesla today like I did the other day. I want to point out a couple other stocks. ATVI was supposed to merge with Microsoft in a long time, and the FTC just came out, a political report saying the FTC is likely to sue to block this lawsuit. So you can see the stock is down 3%, but there might be an opportunity here because they had good earnings recently and they got an upgrade from at least one analyst. So you could see a change in the ownership base, like people who are holding this just for the buyout, they may be like, damn, I'm out, right? But then they may oversell it because, the fundamentals might be good. So there might be an opportunity here. I don't know this company well enough. I haven't looked at that research earnings report deeply, but you can see that 50 DMA kind of coinciding with support that it's found here in pre-market. And again, this is often when you have a change in the investor base, which is you're going to be seeing some of that because of the type of trades, right? People, they're playing the catalyst of a merger or merger arb, right? Those merger arb players may be like, heck, I'm out. There's too much risk here. And that could create an opportunity. So it's something to look at. If you're familiar with ATVI, take a look at that report and you can make your own judgment whether this $74 would be a good purchase here. All right, GOEV. Cool. You know, we got in this in after hours from, I started getting in at 117. I think I bought all the way to like 121 on the CEO making an investment in the company of, I think, about $9 million. So that's a huge catalyst, right? You can see the stock is up 15%. So the targets I'm looking for, well, I thought that 20 DMA was at 130. It is. Okay, but it's like almost there. So 130-ish, maybe 129 to 130 is your first target at the 20 DMA. Second target, 150. Now, this news I don't think is enough to mark the bottom in the stock. Okay, they need to raise a ton more money than just $9 million. So for me, this is just a catalyst trade, you know, improve sentiment because of this CEO coming on with a quick technical target. This is just a trade to 130 and then possibly 150. And for me, those targets are today. I was hoping we'd get those targets in pre-markets. I'd be out because I think the stock's going to sell off again because just what I said, they need to raise a lot more money. So I'm looking to, it's very strong in pre-market. I don't know, maybe I'll take some off the table right before the open, but I'm looking to be out probably at least 75% of my trading shares before the day is over. Not something I want to hold into the weekend. GOEV. So far, so good, up several cents on that. DWAC and RELL, I just wanted to bring up because Elon Musk, another poll, is going to be bringing back everybody who was banned. Just almost everybody was banned, bring them back to the service next week. That's really bad, especially for DWAC, because that's the whole premise of DWAC is all these people who are banned are on Truth Social. They're not going to be posting on Truth Social if they can post on Twitter, you know, a larger audience. I know we're waiting for Donald Trump, but the thesis here keeps getting worse and worse. You know, it's riding up to 20 DMA. The RSI is kind of low, so that's a conflicting signal here, right? Technical's good, but this news is going to be bad for sentiment. I'm not playing it. Who knows what happens, but don't have good signals there to play that. I think it's going down eventually, but it does have strong support for now. On the flip side, however, RUM is going to be very interesting because RUM, I think, fundamentally in the near term will benefit tremendously from this because you have all these new people, all these banned people coming back. A lot of these people have channels on Rumble. And not only do they have channels on Rumble, but they philosophically, they share their opinions about a lot of the content shared on Rumble. So these guys are going to be sharing Rumble links. And these Rumble links are going to be going through the Twitter ecosystem and going viral. So that's really good for the short-term fundamentals of Rumble, whether it's metrics, revenue, things like that. But I got to tell you, sentiment on Rumble is really bad. I've talked to a couple like Uber bulls on Rumble. You thought they were like perma bulls, diamond hands folks who are kind of losing faith now. Why? Because of Elon Musk and how great of an entrepreneur he is, and about what he's been doing at Twitter so fast, and has been talking about bringing video, longer form video to Twitter and monetizing that video on Twitter for people. So longer term, the sentiment is deteriorating on RUM. So be careful with this. That's something to keep in mind in terms of your allocations. We've been playing this in terms of, hey, the fundamental floor is 5. So if you can sell puts and get it at 6 or 7, you know, that's going to be good. But just be aware of this sentiment deteriorating because of Elon Musk. Okay. A couple other things I want to bring up. TRT, I've been holding this since earnings patiently, waiting for a move to about 200 DMA at 527. And then after that, the 50-week MA at 6. So speaking of the 50-week MA, I want to show that to you on SPY in a second. I forgot to. But this had a little move, a little bit of volume at the end of the day, Wednesday. So maybe I'll get my chance to sell this. Maybe we'll get our chance to sell this here if you're in it with me at $5.30 to $6. Really good earnings, semiconductor testing company, really cheap. Okay, where are we? DSKE, keep this on your radar. This is a trucking company. I put out an article. The whole rail strike, that is still in the cards. Okay, rail strike is still in the cards for first week of December or so. December, maybe December 12th it was. You can check the article I put in there. And this stock will benefit. And by the way, the fundamentals here are really good. PE8, and recently they bought back 28% of the shares they bought back from one owner, the, I think, previous CEO or previous founder. So in any case, DSKE, this might be something to start tiptoeing in anyway. because it's down here. I'm a little nervous about, like, if you get a full-blown recession, trucking is going to go down, right? So, but this is something to keep an eye on. I'm going to keep this very close at the top of my watch list and perhaps play that as we get closer to that RELL strike deadline. YTRA, I believe earnings are on Tuesday, so waiting for the 3 breakout, but I'm not feeling great about this because this was not an earnings play for me. This is an IPO spinoff play, so I don't like seeing this catalyst come in between. There's definitely risk being introduced here. So if you're holding this through earnings, you're taking a risk, right? It could drop to 240 or below if earnings are really bad, or earnings are going to be great and we can challenge 3 and go. But the key is we got to break 3, and then if we break 3, you make a quick move to 4. That's YTRA. DE, we talked about the earnings here. That was great. I think this is going to be a $550 stock. We have a bunch of price targets come out this morning. Most of the analysts were like in the mid 400s. Credit Suisse is like at 580. I'm like, Credit Suisse has it right. The earnings here were really, really huge. So this is something I'm interested in getting on pullbacks, either for day trades, swing trades, or maybe even a long-term position here with excellent earnings. PLAB has earnings coming up relatively soon. I don't think they announced the date, but I think it's going to be, it might even be end of next week or right after that. It's coming up. Okay. Actually, let's check the last date, add 3 months to it. Looks like the last date was August 30th. So November 30th, it could be next week, right? So we could have earnings coming up for PLAB next week. Really cheap. The semiconductor company here, PE11. And this move was really unwarranted. I don't know, man. Everything was fine. They gave general macro commentary that this cycle, this bullish cycle, may be coming to an end here in the next couple years or something like that. And that was the only negative thing on that conference call and that earnings report. And it just got slaughtered on this general macro outlook, which was a couple years away, even though their specific company outlook was still good and they haven't seen any signs of a slowdown. That was really, really odd. Why the market really punished PLAB so bad. So I'm thinking that they're going to beat, especially a lot of these semiconductor companies have been doing great still on their earnings reports. So I'm thinking that PLAB is going to beat. I might be willing to take a risk in PLAB and hold that into the earnings report. Or the other way to play it is to wait. And if earnings are great, jump on it, at 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 9:30, right at the opening bell if it's a huge beat. And then you can get a rapid re-rating. We've done that many times with a lot of stocks, and we even did it with PLAB last time. So take a look at that. DAIO, a CEO has been invited. It's on our schedule. We'll be talking to CEO. Look at that chart. That's telling you something. Look at the last earnings report. There's something going on here. Could be very interesting. So looking forward to interviewing that CEO of DAIO here in a couple of weeks. So stay tuned for that. AIRG, moving into the EV battery charging sector. We got in touch with the CEO. We tried, but he's on vacation for Thanksgiving. So we're going to have to wait to get more details on this deal. This is very interesting. I've not picked up a position yet, but I'm going to consider it. Going to be looking at the price action. And perhaps I'll take a position in AIRG. CTMX, remember, I bailed on half of my shares because it didn't look like it was going to easily reach my target of $2. So when the RSI started rolling over, I have to monitor this. On a decent pullback, I would be a big buyer here. Like if this pulled back to like 150 or something like that, 140 to 150, maybe even intraday like a 160, because the positive catalysts here are too strong, both with the fundamentals of the $35 million coming in, or was it 35 cents per share from Regeneron, the partnership with the Regeneron, everything's really good here. So I think this is good to buy on a bigger pullback. But that run might just be over, okay? Might not get to 2, might have fell short. All right. ADM still holding this. I did shave off a little bit because I was overweight, expecting a big move Wednesday. We didn't get it. So I had to take a little bit off, but I'm still holding a nice chunk, waiting for the all-time high breakout. Thesis really hasn't changed there. Dix, be careful. Be careful with the retail. I know a huge short position here. 135 targets from a lot of brokers. I think there was a 140 out there. It looks like it wants to go, doesn't it? But just be careful with the retail. Usually the retail trade, it does well going into Black Friday, and then they start selling off. It's like basically sell the news type of thing, right? You get all the excitement. Let's assume for a second sales numbers are going to be great. Black Friday, Cyber Monday, some numbers come out Monday, Tuesday, and then it's going to look counterintuitive. People are, why is it down on great numbers? Like that could happen. So just be careful with these cheap, the discount retail companies, or specialty retail in this case, that have been doing so well. Be careful of those. Those runs might just be over. You know, Amazon and Macy's, all those have been killing it. Clearfield keeps chugging along, new 52-week highs. RELL hit a new 52-week high. I'm just holding this. This is my IRA. I'm not even touching it. My kids have it. I have it. We missed that to tell you that it had a new 52-week high on Wednesday. So recession resistant stock there in RELL, and AIR hit a new 52-week high on Wednesday, I believe it was. Celsius doing really well. TSM, I still think is the $88 price target here, right there. I think we're hitting that 200 day. Well, declining, right? It's got to move. I think it's going to hit that 200 DMA at some point before it hits the lower part right there, or it fills a gap. So bias to the upside on TSM after Warren Buffett came in. So opportunities on that. BTU doing great. Isn't that nice? All right, so that's all I got for you guys this morning. Let's see if there's any news that came out. Deer stock jumps. Well, I think that's kind of old. Deer stock jumps. How about Deer stock is gonna jump like we predicted Wednesday morning? That was a little bit better of a story. So in any case, guys, hope you're having a great holiday. I'm not going to be trading much today. I'm going to try to spend some time with family. And with that, I'm out of here. Have a great day. I'll try to do a short kind of post-market wrap video sometime between 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. Probably won't be live. I'll record something and upload it to the app so you can take a look at that. So guys, thanks for joining.